If you like to make your NFL games a little bit more interesting, you've come to the right place. It's the Even Money Podcast with Ross Tucker and Steve Fezzik.
Yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas. It is the Even Money Betting Podcast. Ross Tucker, Steve Fezzik. And I'm not going to lie, Steve, it was a bloodbath for us in week 3. After back-to-back weeks to start the year in which we had a winning record, in which I was in the black, week 3 was not good. A lot of things went against us. Check him out on social media, at Fezzik Sports. I'm at Ross Tucker NFL. We are at Ross Tucker Pod. Love and want to welcome in all the new YouTube viewers every week. YouTube.com/Ross Tucker NFL. We are told this is the #1 NFL betting podcast, which is awesome. We do it in about 27 minutes or less every week. We recap how we did the week prior, and we give you all of our bets for that upcoming week. And we do it very quickly, very efficiently. Today's episode, by the way, and I'm saying today's episode for a reason, because on Thursday's episode, we give you all of the injury information with Dr. David Chow from SportsInjuryCentral.com. We talk about all the line moves, and Steve gives out his prop bets and his parlay bets, right? Remember, Steve Fezzik is a professional bettor. He is one of not many people out there that have had that much success in public contests, 2-time winner of the Super Contest out there in Vegas. Episode 1 today is presented by SixScore.com. These guys have hit over 56% against the spread the last 3 years, just based purely on injury information. If you're betting or prop bets or fantasy football without checking out SixScore.com, SICScore.com, you are doing it wrong. Steve, let's dive right into it. Dolphins Bills was the opener. We always go over our games so you can check our results. As a reminder, you can always see our results, patreon.com/RTmedia. You can see the bets we make every week. I leaned Dolphins getting the 12.5 points. They covered against the Bills in a game that was closer than expected. Packers-Browns, Steve. You know, we had several teaser legs. What do we have? 4 different teams, or 5. We like the Packers to -2.5, Seahawks -1.5, Broncos +8.5, Cowboys +7.5, and Cardinals +7.5. We put 2 units on every leg, and unfortunately, the Packers and the Cowboys both let us down. Packers lose on a field goal late. I think they were up 10-0 with less than 4 minutes remaining in that game, Steve. And it is fascinating how many units you lose when you get 2 of the 5 legs wrong when you're round-robining the teasers.
Yeah, imagine when you go 2 and 3, how horrible it is. And that's why we always caution people not to go crazy. When we play more than 5 teasers, we always lower our base size to just 1 unit. Historically, these teasers have been so strong. I'm fine, though, betting more than we normally do. Hey, Green Bay was up 10-0. Cleveland wasn't going to score. Green Bay turned the ball over deep in their own end zone, deep in their own territory. That led to the tie game. We're still fine. Green Bay game-winning field goal, and of course, like many of the field goals, gets blocked, changes the whole end game.
We would have had a really nice teaser week if the Packers had just come through, but they didn't. Speaking of blocked field goals, speaking of bad beats, I put 1 unit on the Rams getting 3 points, Steve, against the Eagles. You leaned Rams. They were up 26-7 in the third quarter. They had a field goal attempt where they were down by 1 point on a 40-something yard game-winning field goal attempt. It gets blocked and returned for a touchdown, Steve. You can't make this up.
It was a miracle that the Eagles just got the lead in general by the one. This was an example, and There was 3.5s out there, and I bet the Rams big, and bad beat of the year.
Just absolutely brutal. I mean, by the way, how do you get a second field goal blocked? I mean, that's the part that really just mind-boggling for me. Steelers, Patriots, I put 2 units on the over because I thought both these teams were over. You did not, Steve? I thought you did. I guess you didn't.
I don't have my notes from what I played last week.
Yeah, no, it looks like he doesn't have you down. I thought you did as well. I thought it was a best bet, but at any rate, did the Patriots turn the ball over 3 times on the goal line? Did they fumble twice on the goal line? So the total was 44.5. Final score 21-14. The Patriots literally fumbled multiple times on the goal line. Again, you just can't make this stuff up sometimes.
370 yards of offense and 5
Steve.
turnovers. 5 turnovers for the Patriots.
Just hideous. Like I said, man, everything went against me this week. I'm poised for a bounce back week. Titans, Colts, lean to the Titans getting the 3.5 points. That was not a good idea. The Colts thoroughly dominated that game. That was my game for CBS. Falcons, Panthers. I talked you out of a Panthers bet, Steve, with the new center, the new right guard, against that ferocious Falcons defensive line. Well, guess what? They lost 30-0 as the Falcons couldn't score a point. Thankfully, I just leaned that way and didn't actually take it. What about the Raiders and the Commanders? We both like the under 44.5 because the Raiders have been offensively deficient, and the Commanders, we thought we were ahead of the game with the Commanders likely to start Mariota instead of Jaden Daniels. See, they scored 41 points and ran all over the Raiders.
It's going to be a long year for the Raiders. Not as big an upgrade on coaching as we had hoped. Genty looks like a bust. Bowers is not 100%, and that defense cannot stop anyone, and the O-line cannot block anyone.
It's really bad. I mean, I am surprised that they look this bad with the stuff we talked about, the coaching improvements, supposedly, whatever. All right. Bengals, Vikings. Had a lot more faith in Jake Browning than I did in Carson Wentz. Put 1 unit on the Bengals, getting 3 points. They get obliterated. Defensive touchdowns all over the place. Bucks, Jets. Jets actually came through for me. 1 unit on the Jets, getting 7 points. Jets aren't able to actually win the game at the end, but they were able to cover the spread. Texans, Jags, we had nothing. Saints, Seahawks, we teased the Seahawks down to -1.5, and they destroyed the Saints. That game was never competitive. Broncos, Chargers, Steve, we took the Broncos up to 8.5. That was a good bet. Easily could have won the game. That was a nice teaser leg. You also, Steve, interestingly, had 2 units on the under in that game. I was skeptical of that. Total was 45.5. Final score 23-20. Your under on Chargers Broncos came through.
Yeah, after losing on the Bronco under the week before, at some point, the Broncos, you got to feel good defense and plotting offense is going to be their pattern.
So then you've got Cowboys, Bears. That was the other teaser leg. Felt really good about the Cowboys with the way their offense has been playing, taking them up to 7.5. Their defense is atrocious. You know, Dak's out here throwing picks to Tremaine Edmonds and linebackers, and that's the second teaser leg that killed us. Niners, Cardinals, we had Cardinals up to 7.5. That was a good bet. They almost won the game. That's one of the 3 teaser legs out of the 5 that came through. Then you've got Chiefs, Giants. We loved the under 44.5. That came through easily. Final score 22-9. So that was awesome. Now you did take the Giants as well, Steve. +6. They're not a good team. That did not come through.
First and goal from the 4, down 13. So I'm not saying they deserved it, but at that point, they're a pretty big favorite to get in the end zone. But the Giants offense, how bad is this Dallas defense to give up 37 burger against this Giants offense that's terrible? Wow.
Great point. We had nothing on Ravens Lions. Remember, we are grading. I know that there's some publicly available minus 120 teaser legs. We're grading them at minus 125 since DraftKings went all the way up to minus 135. We're kind of splitting the difference there a little bit. For the week, Steve, I was down 13 and a half units. You were down 9.6 units. So for the year, you are down 9.5 units. I am down 8.1 units. We were 4 and 8 on our best bets. 1 and 1 on the totals, 3 and 7 on the teasers. Puts us at 11 and 12 on our best bets for the year, a 48% strike rate. We will get into the parlay bets and the prop bets on Thursday's show, where we're joined by Dr. David Chow for the latest injury information. Right now, though, we got to move on to week 4. Thank goodness. More great stuff right after this. Everybody I know will be at West Shore Home Field Saturday night for the whiteout. Penn State, Oregon, 2 top 5 teams, 2 top 5 caliber teams. There's a reason why it's West Shore Home Field, because West Shore Home is an unbelievable company. The best option for your projects. They're America's most trusted home remodeler. How about over 60,000 5-star reviews? You know why? Because every installer is a highly trained employee. These are employees, right? They're not subbing this stuff out. Right now, you can buy a full bath remodel and get a shower, replace another bathroom free. Buy one, get one. Or a house full of windows, you'll get entry door free. 12 months, no payment, no interest financing. And for just you guys, you get an exclusive discount of $500 if you go to westshorehome.com/Ross to schedule it. See website for details, westshorehome.com/Ross. I did an absolutely epic taste test with Labatt Blue, folks. It was amazing. If that video is not out already, it will be soon. Check it out. It's hilarious and amazing. And then go ahead and buy some Labatt and then get rewarded for it. I love this concept. I don't know who came up with this at Labatt, but it's genius, right? Anytime you buy Labatt or Labatt Blue Light, take the receipt, go to rewards.labattusa.com, upload the receipt, you rack up the points, you can do it on your phone, and then next thing you know, you're getting awesome merch. I told you I got the mini fridge and the cooler backpack. Rewards.labattusa.com. All right, Steve, let's start with Thursday night. Seahawks are getting 1.5 on the road against the Cardinals. I was tempted to take the Seahawks plus the 1.5 with James Conner now out for the year for the Cardinals, but just to be safer, I'll make it a teaser leg and take Seattle up to 7.5.
Yeah, listen, Seattle's going to probably close the favorite, so this is a no-brainer, and Seattle is a teaser for me as well.
Why do you say that, Steve, about Seattle close the favorite?
Talked with the SAC people and one of their disparity in injuries because of James Conner and other players. Is Seattle the much healthier team, and the Arizona really tough physical game the week after playing the Niners? That's certainly difficult. Seattle basically had a bye last week.
That's a really, really good point. We like Seattle up to 7.5. Vikings, Steelers. It's in it's in Ireland. Totals 41.5. Steelers are getting 2.5, Steve.
And they'll be getting 3, I think, by the time this game gets bet later in the week. And because of that, you know what? It looks like a good teaser leg. I am going to pass the volatility of the game in Ireland. No teasers for me on this. No play.
I'm kind of back and forth on this. Steelers haven't really looked that good, but they also very rarely get blown out. For right now, I'm going to take the Steelers as a teaser leg. I reserve the right to change my mind. Steelers up to plus 8.5. All right, I got to change my mind by the end of the show, though. The Eagles are laying 3 points against the Bucs, Steve. Totals 43.5.
So both these teams absolutely bet against. Eagles 3-0, could be 0-3. Tampa Bay 3-0, could be 0-3. Tampa Bay, terrible cluster injuries at wide receiver with Evans injured now. Whoever wins this game, I'm going to start betting against the rest of October.
The Mike Evans one is the one that makes a big difference. I will say I would lean to the Bucs. If you want to lean to the Bucs getting the 3. They've really had the Eagles number as of late, but the Mike Evans question mark makes a huge difference. So it's just a lean to me for Tampa Bay plus the 3. Chargers, Giants. Chargers are laying 6 on the road. Totals 43.5.
Just a gut feel here. I'm going to play over 43.5. It's time that scoring's going to kick up in the NFL. And I get it. The Giants just had a pathetic performance, but the Chargers, they had their all-in game divisionally low scoring against Denver. We won with the under. I think it'll be a little looser. Over for 2 units.
Over 43.5 for Steve. Giants, Chargers. I cannot do that after watching the Giants play football, and the Chargers defense is pretty awesome. I do have a lean to the Giants getting the 6 points, though. I mean, they can't keep being this bad and losing this many games. 10 o'clock body clock game for the Chargers. Lean to the Giants plus the 6. What about the Saints getting 16.5? Totals 48.5 in Buffalo.
Good luck with this if you want to invest in these Saints after what I saw against Seattle and the special teams meltdown. I can't do it. Buffalo can name their score. I pass.
Yeah, I do not think the Saints are going to get blown out back-to-back weeks. I'm putting a unit on the Saints getting 16.5 points. This is the NFL. You don't lose by 20-some points back-to-back weeks. I would like to think those veterans for the Saints are embarrassed by that performance and that they'll play much better. I like the Saints to keep it close against the Bills. Give me the Saints plus 16.5 for 1 unit. Commanders, Falcons, totals 45.5, and the Commanders are laying 2.5.
Too much uncertainty with the Washington quarterback. I'll wait and see what transpires.
So I like the Falcons as a teaser leg to plus 8.5. Speaking of getting embarrassed, there's no way they're going to come back home and get embarrassed by a backup quarterback after that Panthers debacle. I expect the Falcons to play much better. They just fired the wide receiver coach, trying to get these guys to wake up a little bit after that performance. Wouldn't be surprised at all if the Falcons win this game, but I'll take the Falcons as a teaser leg up to plus 8.5. Titans, Texans. This is my game for CBS, Steve. The Titans are getting 7 points. Total is 39.5, a low 39.5.
Sure, I can tease Houston. I'll use them as one of my teaser legs. I'm also going to play, this is going to be a boring game, Ross. Bring some stories for the broadcast. We're going to go under 39.5.
I'm with you on the under 39.5. I'm a little bit surprised that the total, I mean, that's a low total, but I would be surprised if it went over that total just watching these teams. So are you putting 2 units on that, Steve?
Yeah, if I don't indicate the weight, it's always 2 units.
Yep. Houston, Tennessee, under 39.5, 2 units. And Steve's also using the Texans as a teaser leg. Even though you're not going through the 7s, Steve, you're taking them down to -1.
Yeah, I make the game 9. So my numbers say that Houston should be favored by more than 7. Good enough. This Tennessee Titans football team, of course they were going to be much better this year. They're not. They're the worst team in the league. They're just horrendous. They're worse. I think they're worse than the Saints.
All right, Brown. Well, I do my power rankings on every Tuesday Ross Tucker football podcast, so you can hear my fresh off the press power rankings. I think I had Titans 32, Saints 31. So The Browns are getting 8.5 in Detroit on Sunday. Totals 45.5.
So no brainer here. We'll tease the Lions. I know it's a bad spot for the Lions. You know what? I know lots of pro bettors are like, I'm betting Cleveland this week. It's a good spot. And same with the Jets. And good spot after good spot, they come up empty. It's actually not a good spot for Cleveland because of their upset win. Detroit will win the game. So teasers, Detroit.
I'm going to take the Browns getting the 8.5. I mean, that Browns defense is absolutely legit. Steve's teasing the Lions down. I'm taking the Browns plus 8.5. By the way, for those of you paying attention, we don't always tease every 1.5, 2.5, 7.5, 8.5. If you've been noticing today, there's multiple ones that we're not teasing. Steve is, though, going to tease the Lions down to minus 2.5. What about Carolina and the Patriots? Carolina's getting 5.5. Totals 43.5.
You know, I get it. Carolina just played this awesome game, but New England keeps winning the box scores and blowing it with turnovers. If they clean this up, New England's going to win by margin. I lean the favorite.
That's interesting. I think who are the Patriots to be laying 5.5? 1 unit on Carolina getting the 5.5 to keep it close. What about Colts and the Rams? Totals 49.5, and the Colts are getting 3.5.
So I'm not getting the best of the number, but curiously, 49 doesn't land very often. You need 7 touchdowns, no field goals. I'm going to go ahead and do 1 unit on the over. I expect a shootout.
Ooh, 1 unit on the over for Steve. I'm putting 2 units on the Colts. I am a believer. I do think that there's a good chance there's a lot of points in this one, but 2 units on the Colts, I'm a believer. I think they're really pretty darn good. So you know how much I love getting 3.5, so I'll take it. All right, what about the Jags? They're getting 3 points in San Francisco, and the total is 47.5.
Yeah, I would lean to the underdog Jacksonville. You know, San Francisco's really getting beat up here. I just need 3.5 for them to be an official play. At 3, I will lean Jacksonville.
1 unit on the Jags for me. I think the Bosa injury is a really big deal, unfortunately. I think it's a really, really big deal. So 1 unit on the Jacksonville Jaguars getting 3 points for me out in San Francisco. Bears, Raiders, totals 47.5. The Raiders are getting 1.5, Steve.
Yeah, and the Bears finally get their first win. This is a classic example. Game should be pick 'em. I make it pick 'em. So you give me plus 1.5 on either team. Absolutely. It's in my teaser. Should be a close game. So I'm teasing it.
Yep. I got the Raiders up to 7.5 as well. You and I are sharing a brain on that teaser leg. So we agree on the Seattle and Las Vegas teaser legs. What about the Ravens and the Chiefs? Hard to believe they're both 1 and 2. The Ravens are road favorites, laying 2.5. Totals 48.5.
And should be a really close competitive game. And remember, the book on Kansas City is they don't get blown out. I know they lost by 10 to the Eagles when Kelsey dropped the touchdown. I don't know who's going to win this game. It's going to be close. Of course, we're going to tease Kansas City. Put them in on my teasers.
Correct. That's a best bet teaser leg for me as well. I've got Kansas City up to 8.5. Be surprised if this is not a close game. Now we got the Packers and the Cowboys. The Packers are laying 7 points. Sunday Night Football, Micah Parsons Bowl. Totals 47.5.
So I get it. The Cowboys are in shambles right now, and Green Bay is a very good team. During the summer, this is why you listen to the Ross Tucker podcast, Even Money, all year long. I recommend we bet this game. Green Bay, minus 2.5. All right, that's in my pocket. I gave it out on multiple shows. Well, now that the line's 7, I don't care. I'll strong lean to Dallas at 7. I make the game 6. The only reason I'm not making an official play, I don't want to give out both sides of a game. But gun to my head, if I had to bet, I'd bet Dallas now.
Yeah, so no CD Lamb. highly problematic for the Cowboys. No Tyler Booker's a problem. You think Micah Parsons might be motivated for this one a little bit? I'm going to take the Packers as a teaser leg down to -1. I would be stunned if they lost this game. Stunned. Packers down to -1 as a teaser leg. Steve, we've got not one but two Monday Night Football games. They're doing the crossover doubleheader deal. They're not great games, by the way, but the Jets are getting 2.5 in Miami. Totals 44.5.
So it's going to be Monday night squareness on this podcast, Ross, because I'm going over in the first Monday night game. I think Miami is defensively completely challenged. I think the Jets' defense is overrated. I see some points over 44.5, 2 units.
You know what? I like that a lot. Over 44.5, 2 units on Jets, Dolphins. What do you think about the Jets as a teaser leg, Steve?
I think there's a whole lot of volatility with these teams. I don't know where Miami's mindset is right now, starting the 0-3. So I'm reluctant to be teasing Miami games right now.
Okay, I'm going to hold off on it then. Bengals. Actually, I take that back. New York Jets plus 8.5. They could easily, these are a toss-up game. If I'm getting 8.5, I'm taking it. Bengals are getting 7 points in Denver. Totals 43.5.
Yeah, Bengals aren't winning in Denver, so Broncos will bounce back. We'll have the Broncos as a teaser leg. Also, Bengals can't stop anyone. So I'm going over in this game. That's the squareness of Monday night. Both Monday night games are over. 2 units over 43.5.
Denver -1 is another teaser leg. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teaser legs. So we're going to do 1 unit each for my teaser legs per Steve's recommendation.
I will do 1 unit also on my teaser. So to be consistent.
1 unit on both of our teaser legs. Patreon.com/RT Media. Remember, if you want to see all these bets in black and white. Good luck, everybody. Make sure you tune in Thursday. Hope you guys win some money.
Thanks for tuning in to Even Money. Make sure to also check out the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.